All right, I think this is coming up. Hey, everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, just sitting here drinking my morning coffee, looking sexy as hell as usual. This is a bit later. I overslept. I overslept today. I guess my body just needed more sleep. I'm finding that's happening after my training days now, with how hard I'm going with some of this. You know, I'm sleeping a hair later, so sun will be up soon though. I may have to shut this down by 7:30 though, no matter what. We'll see what happens. We'll see who we get in here. Let's hopefully we get a nice chat going. I'm gonna work on a couple other things while we get stuff going. I got to get some video uploads and things going. So I'm just gonna multitask and I'm gonna work and I'm gonna chat with my people. I'm gonna answer questions as they come through. Uh, Assuming we'll get ready. Also, here's my Amazon wish list I'm going to put up. If anyone wants to send Coach coffee or proteins, all that stuff is in there. All right. And you can join me for a coffee chat. These take a minute. I don't know. Yesterday though, they fill up really quick. Some days it takes 15 minutes to get a question. What's up, Ryan? Client Ryan. I'm on Facebook also, bro. How you doing this morning? That was a nice clean 315 bench yesterday by Ryan, and we're almost to our goal weight for the year. We're at our goal bench. Our goal was what, Ryan? We wanted to get you down to 220. Keep in mind, he started at 320 pounds, almost 220. We wanted 220 with a 315 bench at 220. That was our goal this year. We just hit an easy 315 bench yesterday. And you're in the 220s now. Where are we at, Ryan? Yep. What are you weighing right now? We're high 220s, right? I didn't see the last check in on that. Or did we drift up at all? Because we're always going to have some undulations. Especially when you've lost like 100 pounds, there's going to be some, you're 231. Okay, so let's keep going. So we're 11 pounds from goal weight. We reached to the goal bench. Finally made it in time for one of these lives. Good stuff, Charlie. I'm still waking up, by the way. This is literally my first cup of coffee. It's hanging low to the right. But yeah. So this is my first cup of coffee. I am literally waking up. I got up, brushed my teeth at the coffee maker, prayed. I'm still awake. I didn't even use my water pick yet. I only brushed. So again, Coach is waking up. How many cups of coffee? I do a whole pot. I do a whole coffee pot. That's why you see me. I'll go sometimes clear 3 of these at this giant cup. And yes, the cup is this big while I'm doing a coffee chat. Then we're good to wake. I'm going to run later this morning and then I'm going to do a GPP session. I feel like those are bringing a lot to the table for me. Those conditioning sessions. They're, especially with all the high reps I'm doing. Because as you guys know, I do one really heavy top set of squat, bench, deadlift every workout, and then I just do a lot of hard training volume. So I'm doing, up to 15 reps on big compounds. Like even yesterday, I did 12 on squat, 15 on rows. I did weighted pull-ups, 14 rep sets. Let's get over into this. Brave says, good morning, Coach. Worth trying out 15 to 20 grams of creatine a day instead of the usual 5. No, I don't think so, honestly. I can't see there being any benefit to that. I've seen it argued that the 5 grams is almost a safety net. We may not even need the 5. I think you're just going to get some GI tract distress and throw money away. It's unlikely to do anything. I mean, we can make a hypothetical case for with certain anabolics, maybe a synergistic effect. I saw someone do a write-up on that years ago. I totally did not. I got so busy finishing up my work. I had so much stuff on the table. I did not watch the Starship flight. I'll get around to it. It turned into a really busy afternoon. Ryan, client Ryan here. I did some box jumps Sunday for the first time in 3+ years. They felt good. Yeah, I'll probably do some jumps today. I'm enjoying throwing my med ball, as funny as it sounds, and I don't care if it looks silly. I heard someone say some people already made like me doing it with background music going somewhere. I thought it's fine. I don't care. Um, I felt my shoulders really felt good doing those throws. So for me, who's trying to rebuild that shoulder range of motion and mobility, I feel like throws like that, no matter how silly they look, um, to bring something to the table. They felt good, and I only did 3 of them. So I'll probably do more of those today. Um, I have a feeling it's partly a scam to sell more creatine. I have a feeling that you're right, my friend. If I were a betting man, if I were a betting man, I would lean in that direction also. You know. Hold on, I'm going to upload a video to everything while we're chatting here, y'all, and I'll get back to your questions. Give me just a second. Get all the stuff going. I got to put it up on everything all at once. We just need videos in the feed, and my morning started really late. That's at least an hour later than usual. Again, my body is just telling me this is what you need. Back over to here. No other questions. Yeah, Charlie, I'm inclined to agree. I think it's probably just a scam. And creatine's not expensive, but I mean, it's still a high profit item for a lot of companies. Not so much the ones who sell it bulk. I buy my creatine bulk. So even in my wish list, it's just bulk creatines in there. You'll see the ones that I use right there on the wish list. So that's also a good thing for the wish list. You know, people will ask me what supplements I use. Well, I have the wish list, so you don't have to buy anything to click on it. Just an FYI. You can see which supplements I prefer because they're on my list. Okay, so incline walking on treadmill is super popular these days. Claims it helps retain muscle and burn fat over actually running. Not sure if true, but where do things like this come from? I have no idea. Why would it burn fat better and retain muscle better over? I can tell you where the walking comes from. Is from competitive bodybuilders, though. And think about why that's the only cardio they can do. Think about all the oral steroids they're using. Think about the body weight they're carrying, the cardiac inflammation. So people forget this. Oral steroids cause very intense low back pumps sometimes. So much so that running, squatting, deadlifting can't even be done for a lot of people while they're on them. And a lot of non-gear users don't know that. So why would some pro bodybuilders be like, oh yeah, man, squats and deadlifts are completely worthless in the off season when they're eating tons of anhydrous? Because they can't do them. Oh yeah, running is worthless for cardio because they're on so much trend that they have an inflamed chest cavity, and they can't breathe to even run. So why would they be against these things? Why would they say, oh, they're useless? Not hard to figure out, guys. Because they literally can't do them. So they're just going to pretend that they're not important. They're like, I don't do them, and I'm placed 5th in the Olympia. Makes sense. Right. I think it makes a lot of sense. So all is not always as it seems. All is not as it seems. Hold on, guys. I'm plugging stuff in for these video uploads whilst we are talking. I don't want to not get a new informative in the feed this morning. Just because we're live streaming. Okay. Is it wise to deload during a cut? I feel my systemic fatigue is pretty high. If you're going to deload, you need to end your cut Dudes don't want to hear that. I would not be in a calorie deficit during a deload. So if you over pushed yourself to the point where you need a true deload, into your cut. You need to be back at maintenance during the deload week and don't do that again. Program more carefully next time. When was the last time you had to miss a workout? It's been a while. I tend to plan everything around it. So if people know that don't make plans with me in the morning ever. It's very straightforward. Hey, we could use your help with this. We need this. Hey, I need you to come by. You know, those are like noon things. I'm kind of like, you need to let me get my breakfast started. You need to let me train and then do that. So I plan my life around it. So generally speaking, barring an emergency, I don't miss workouts. I mean, I've had to stop and take important phone calls in the middle of workouts. I've had to deal with business. I mean, I've had to deal with my insurance company with all that other stuff that happened while working out. Like I'd be training and I'm on the phone with them. Like I'm between sets and they're having to call me back, and so we work out, guys. I message clients in the middle of workouts. So we don't miss workouts. I mean, you need to take a business call or a call from your insurance company or a lawyer or anything. You can do it in between sets. You can start your workout, do the call, and then finish the workout. If you're going to be on the phone for 30 minutes with something important, start your workout, make your phone call, finish your workout. You don't miss workouts. That's bullshit. That's just how I feel about it. Your friends and family can respect your workout times. Like this is my training time, guys. But it's for me, it's simple. Like if it's anything like a Sunday or maybe a Saturday, no one tries to make plans with me in the mornings. This resolves a lot of problems. So when you're serious about it, people in your life know this is training time. And so even if someone needs to call me, like or someone really close to me, they're like, I'm not going to call him during his workout time. So I'm going to call him at 7 a.m. or at noon or later. Right? All right, getting this video up everywhere. So yeah, it's like Ryan said, we don't miss workouts, guys. That's not how we do it. I mean, definitely when we had the hurricane knock the power out, that was different because it was over 100 degrees Fahrenheit and over 90% humidity. No way to really cook much. Having to eat just dry stuff and stay hydrated. I just did light dumbbells. Good morning, Coach. Any tips to strengthen the lower back specifically? I seem to get more sore there after heavy squats into my legs now. Yeah, do some really high rep good mornings. Do you have access to a reverse hyper? If not, high rep good mornings. Right? Work your abs more. Could be weak abs. Add some ab work, some hanging leg raises might not be a bad idea. Big EJ checking in. What's up, EJ? Marcinio, do you ever get sick? Occasionally. I had a cold last week. That's one reason I had to be careful with the running. I don't even know why I got a cold. I just got one. I got the flu last winter. You guys remember I made a vlog with it. I trained. I just had to scale it back. I still did heavy deadlifts and stuff though. During Hurricane Ida, I took a week off, but I trained real hard before and ate a lot of food. Right? I dropped all the way down to 203, by the way, just because I was out walking and I was sweating, trying to stay hydrated. I was doing a lot of walking, checking stuff in the neighborhood. I was helping people with different things. So, and I was out walking every day. So no, I didn't take time off the recent cold, man. Didn't take time off. You got me twisted. You guys saw me running on camera saying, "Hey, I got a bit of a cold. I'm going to cut this run super short." So right. Strength is strength, right? Sometimes you got to just suck it up, guys. See how the short term. Yeah, Ryan, I'm probably going to put a clip up of your 315 bench because since we're cutting and we're close to our goal weight and we reached our goal bench for the year, I'm going to put it up. Do you do weight training? No, I only lift 3 days a week. Now I'm doing my off days. I run and or do GPP, but I don't count that as weight training. But I count weight training if I touch a barbell or a dumbbell, right? So Brave, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I squat, bench, deadlift, and do other accessory work. Like this week, it was rows, pull-ups, incline bench, tricep extensions, hammer curls. All right. My last GPP session was Saturday. I'll do one today. So I I just did a quick run that morning, like 1.6 miles, still do that barefoot. And then I did a conditioning workout. So I did box jumps, weighted carries, med ball throws, sled sprints with my sled, and then just did high rep band press downs for my triceps. All right. So, but that's not weightlifting. That's just conditioning. Conditioning, speed work, restoration work. Yeah, that's why I was glad I had the home gym. And I had someone who told me at the time, like another trainer, she was like, "You're ahead of the curve. You were already." It's like we're all having to figure out how to do online coaching because we can't coach people in person now. And you already had a business, so you're ahead of the curve. And then my next year after that was insane. Like I said, it's slow still in this economy. Like honestly, my coaching is the slowest it's been in like 4 or 5 years. But the next year after that, I made $100,000 off just coaching. So yeah. But yeah, I mean, COVID changed everything. So for a while, those of us who already had established online coaching businesses were doing great. I mean, think about how many vloggers I had at that time during that one window. I had like 11 vloggers. Do the math. Most of your clients are not going to vlog. And I'm charging $250 a month to every one of those people. So it starts adding up. Like I had 43 clients at one time. And that's not counting the consultations. So I charge $100 for those consultation calls. And I don't know how many of those I'm going to get in a week. Sometimes I don't get any. I might have a month where I only get one, but I've also had months where I had 10 of those in a month. So that's again, do the math. If you have 10 of those in a month at $100 a piece, this is outside of the normal coaching. Now, granted, had zero free time almost during most of my work weeks. Like they were like 60, 70, 80-hour weeks. But I was doing stuff I loved. It was all just coaching, consultations. Would the French press be a good primary accessory for triceps? Yeah, I think it can be. Are you talking about the French press, like the seated, like, I'm going to want to understand what you're calling a French press. because historically we called the French press was the seated tricep extension with an easy bar. Yeah, or standing. Yeah, that's fine. No, that can be good as long as you have the shoulder mobility for it. I think it's a good exercise. As much as I hate working for the man, grateful and have a stable income. Entrepreneurship brings uncertainty. Yeah, it's not for the faint of heart. No, French press is behind the headstand, like you said, with an easy bar usually. When I used to do them with the barbell, I used to jokingly call them tricepticons. You remember? If I had the shoulder mobility to do those again, I would throw those back in. I want to get there. Your home gym setup looks pretty expensive. I mean, think about what I was making on coaching when I built most of it, though. So it wasn't that big of a deal. Yeah. Yeah, I probably have 25, 30,000 in my home gym at this point. But I mean, it's a lifetime investment, right? And I have so much stuff I don't use, but it's there. It's like even the other day, though, I was thinking with overhead work, it's like, yeah, I mean, I have all those kettlebells still laying around. I haven't touched a kettlebell in years other than to move them, but I have a bunch of kettlebells. Yeah, you saved all your medical bills, absolutely. No, I don't think that it appreciates. No, there was a big influx and stuff went down. Like people were selling used stuff like crazy because they bought so much of it during lockdowns. The market got flooded with used stuff. But I mean, still, it's all high quality equipment as long as you don't abuse it. But yeah, I have 14 of the road calibrated plates, by the way. So the blue 45-pound plates, I have 14 of those. Those 55-pound training plates, rubberized training plates that Rogue makes, I have 8 of those. Right, I have 14 different barbells. 10-pound plates, I have like 22 or 23 of them. I got like 10 5-pound plates. I have all the way down to something like 8, 2.5, so that I could micro load dumbbells if I needed to. I have 3 different size dumbbell handles. Like EJ, because I was doing a lot of really heavy dumbbell stuff. My plan was at the time, if I needed to be able to load 120-pound plus dumbbells, see where we're going with this. So if I needed to have 20 plates, if I wanted to load dumbbells up and put 10 of them on each plate, 10 plates on each dumbbell, I'm still on my first cup of coffee, y'all. I'm going to sound stupid. I'm going to sound stupid. I'm still getting caffeinated here. Then I had them. All right. So if I needed to load dumbbells up to 120-pound dumbbells for each hand, I can do so. Do you ever leave the barbell loaded for the next workout? I take them off. No, I take them off. Think about that for a moment. You don't want to leave all that load on there for 48 hours. Are their plates more expensive? Yeah, Alika. Do you consider yourself extreme with fitness and diet? No judgment or hate, obviously, from your firm and your views, with zero room for things like they go against your takes. Can this be unhealthy? No, I don't think that's unhealthy. Because think of it this way: if for me, drinking alcohol is not an option, like zero. If junk food is only eaten on special occasions, how could this ever be unhealthy? Like I'm literally avoiding the stuff that's most unhealthy, making sure that I eat all whole foods all the time. Well, what does research say? The research is overwhelmingly one-sided. So certain diseases, there's no upward cap on things like antioxidant intake from whole foods as far as disease reduction. So if anything, for someone like me who's genetically prone to certain diseases, it's the opposite, right? The only unhealthy could be maybe my obsession with strength could eventually be more and more problematic. But then again, it's not necessarily, because I haven't had the injuries that I've had have not come from the big three generally. They've been stuff like overuse on pull-ups. And actually, when I messed with the rings, that's when this stuff finally gave. That's why when people are like, oh, you need to do ring pull-ups. I have rings. And when I finally had the impingements really get bad, it was right after doing ring pull-ups. That seems to be what pushed those shoulders over the edge. So I did 3 sets of ring pull-ups one day. And then the next morning, I couldn't lift my arms over my head for 3 months straight. So it was like that was the end of it. But it's been things like that. So I don't buy into this silly nonsense. Some people say, oh, yeah, the ring pull-ups, they're great. Really? Because that's what really pushed my impingement. I don't trust them. Yeah, it's been years now. And I still don't have that full range of motion yet. I've slowly worked on it. It's better. But yeah, several workouts with the ring pull-ups, and then all of a sudden I did 3 sets of ring pull-ups, and then that was it. My shoulders just stopped working. Like this was my range of motion. That was it. And it was both arms. I didn't do anything else that week that would have caused it. But I always like to rotate, change stuff up. So it's like, let's do ring pull-ups with, whatever, with chains. Like chains hanging from a belt. What's your thoughts on behind the neck press? I think behind the neck presses are amazing. If you have the shoulder health to do them, I think behind the neck presses are phenomenal. And I think behind the neck push presses are even better. I used to do those on camera. If y'all recall, I used to clean them up. Like I would clean and press weight up and then do behind the neck push presses. Or I would just do it out of the rack. So that was like something my ex and I used to do while we were training together. Anytime she would squat, I had to behind the neck push press whatever she was squatting. So we would superset it. So I'd be doing deadlifts over, and then when she would do a squat, I would get in there and behind the neck push press her squat bar. And we just kind of worked it in like that. All right, I need to refill my coffee. Facebook. Not much happening there. All right. No, Max, we don't need a social credit system. I mean, if someone says certain things that are totally stalker, I'm going to get rid of them no matter what. Like, I don't care what their history has been. I don't care if they've given money. I don't care if they've asked great questions. Okay. Good. So just throwing that out there helps kill it. Like, none of that is relevant, you know. You know, and there's definitely one thing that haters or stalkers and trolls absolutely do say, that as of now is not only beyond offensive, but for them to even make a joke like that, given things that have happened to other people, if they actually really do follow what happens and follow people's social media, they should feel like a really horrible human being to even make a joke like that. Hold on, I'm posting something. And the stuff I've banned people for, who pretend to be good posters and then they'll chime in. Yeah, because I don't really like big money. Like, and I don't really understand why fitness people are putting big money up as some anything but I don't understand how fitness people are painting him in a positive light. And I certainly don't want to be compared to a guy who destroyed his own liver, who lived in a pile of dirt and filth, verified on camera, like lived in like hoarder, disgusting trash, who died young and had a fetish for ladyboys. Do you kind of see where I'm going with something like that? Like, do you not understand that this is an extremely mentally ill individual and it was nothing to look up to? So that's the problem. We're talking about, I'm running a fitness channel, guys. I am running a fitness channel. See, but EJ, there's one thing to have demons. We all have our demons, guys. I believe me, I have my demons. But it's another thing entirely for that. Right. And to me, yeah, that's not entertaining. You know, it's not entertaining at all. You know, but all things considered. And I guess one thing I'm going to say, I think that haters need to realize when they make certain things, when they make jokes about a certain topic, they need to understand how legitimately they need to really at this point question their own worth as a human being. Like, there's a line that haters have even made videos on, which they think it's funny to make up a joke and pretend that I'll just say it. They don't think it's funny to pretend and make up jokes claiming that I touched a certain person who has now been officially raped and kidnapped at gunpoint by somebody who is being charged with felonies for it. So it's kind of like, for them to make those jokes is so far over the line. You know what I mean? And I'm not going to go any further. Those people can note that I said that in a video, and they need to understand that. Right? Like, it's been in the news that person has had that happen to them. So it's not really funny to make up jokes like that. Not at all. And that includes the people who've made videos about that topic with me, thinking that it's funny to make that up. All right. He was a case study of human condition as extreme, how someone motivated thousands to go to a gym, or war, as he called it. But the gym's not going to war. And that's the point I've made. That's the point that I've made. It's not going to war. In reality, it was human decay, right? So keep in mind, normal people, mentally healthy people, were not looking at him as a source of inspiration. All right. And I think that's the thing for me, like Michael brought up the do you think what you do is extreme? Not really. I think everybody should take their training and nutrition seriously. And if we all did, how much better would everything be? And we need to stop looking at it as extreme. If you go to the gym every day and don't miss workouts, is this extreme? Why should that be considered extreme? Why should we count that as going to war? Shouldn't you all be doing that? Hey EJ, think of it from the perspective that I put out in my training philosophies and videos I make. Think about why I would see that as a negative thing. One, it implies it's hard. It's not hard to deadlift 500 pounds for 6 reps. Just get in and lift the weight, number one. Number two, it's requiring you to have this continual psyched up motivation. That's a bad thing for recovery. All right. Going to war. It's like, no, guys, just get in and train. Get in and lift weights. It's a Zen thing. Just focus, do your thing. I don't promote that mindset. Yeah, and war you annihilate, not stimulate. And that's the thing. It makes it sound like it's a super hardcore thing, whereas I want to promote to people, and I think this should be promoted to the masses, that it's a chill thing, man. Go in and do some heavy squat, bench, and deadlift, and I don't know, meditate after if you need to. Go do your yoga class after. It's not hardcore. It's just lifting weights. It's just training. It's something that everybody should be doing. Does that make sense? It's just a normal thing. And I would look at it the opposite. Talk about not being a pussy in the gym. Well, thinking what you're doing is hard and going to war is kind of being a pussy in the gym. If you have to have that mindset to even work out, isn't that pussy? That you need to be hyped up like that to just go squat some heavy weight? Think about that for a minute. Thinking lifting weights is hard is pussy. That is being a pussy. Does that make sense? Hey, coach, I hope I slept in later. So, yeah, I got a good night's sleep and we're feeling fully recovered from the training. And that's the point I'm making. Like, this is pussy mindset that's being projected. If you think lifting weights is difficult and you need to be hyped up, this is a problem. And on top of it, if you looked at the work that Perryman was doing on this, when he was doing the squatting every day and then researching it for his PhD, they noted that psychological arousal hurt recovery post-workout. So you guys are literally propping up, and that's the problem. I'm probably going to start getting rid of you guys then. We don't need this sort of absurdity in here. EJ. We don't need this absurdity. Again, you're propping up someone who literally lived in a pile of garbage. Do you understand this? Who died from the abuse of their own body and had a fetish for transsexuals. Like, if this is your inspiration, I probably need to ban you because you shouldn't be interacting with normal people at that point. Like, you're just going to bring my chats down. All right. Again, they're talking about Big Lenny, Michael. I run a strength and fitness channel. I don't know that he had a good heart at all, Dad. Not things that I've necessarily heard from people who knew him. So, yeah. And I'm reluctant to always be careful of things that I hear because people have created crazy rumors of horrible things about me that aren't true either. So I can appreciate that fact and go, okay, I don't want to repeat the things that I heard because it could just be BS, just like stuff people do with me. So in fairness to that, I don't repeat those things. Does that make sense? But I've heard some pretty terrible stuff. Right? I've heard some pretty horrifically terrible stuff. Um, find these what are you talking about? Charges that who had? Max, or who we talking? Yeah. The only person I discussed with that was Piana. Are we talking about Rich Piana? I have all of it. I chose not to publish it. Um, true, we gave Max a stay yesterday, but yeah. So yeah, Max. I was talking about Rich Piana with charges, and that's all true. I've seen it. I've seen the evidence. I chose not to publish it because the man was dead. Um, so, like, I'm not going to drag a dead man through the mud with evidence that didn't come out while he was alive. You know, no point. We're not doing all that. Most Genovaverse followers are generally unstable, and that's the point. So here's the point: we have multiple people who confirm they're Genovaverse followers. So again, it's almost like I'm gonna be nice though. I get that they're unstable, but as long as they can follow the rules, we're okay. But I really want you guys to stop propping up people like Big Lenny on an actual strength and fitness channel. Just stop. Jason, besides me, how many other people? I mean, you've seen messages, emails, comments. You've seen people comment in streams and other places. A lot of the ones I've been getting, it was originally was weight loss. It was people being motivated. I've gotten a lot of the alcohol ones. I posted screenshots of some of those people who've stopped drinking because of me. And that's one I'm really, really happy about. Okay. Sean says, Jason, did you feel shame the first time you attacked Alpha Destiny, considering you first used to be a fan? No, absolutely not. And here's why. He faked lifts, passed it off as real, the BS, and then he was doing the above the knee. I attacked him for scam. I attacked him for a fraudulent lift. That push press that he claimed was a strict press. I mean, again, if people want to accuse someone of lying, people are like, you're lying. Well, we had a provable lie right there. So right there, straight up provable fraud on camera. And then the above the knee rack pull that damaged people, hurt people, destroyed barbells all over the world. That's what I attacked him on. Because of the above the knee rack pull thing. But as far as he got up and straight up faked a lift. I mean, you can hate me all you want, but I have always done real lifts on camera, and I've used calibrated plates and everything for all of it. You can hate me for a whole lot of shit, but you can't, in all honesty, say that you believe I faked the lift and then told a lie about the lift. Do you guys remember the reason he said he only had the final part of the lift on camera was because the file got corrupted, and it just so happened that the only part of the file that worked from a video file, and anyone who messes with video knows that's not how it works ever, was from here up, right? So he essentially did a push press and clipped the video for just the top half of the lift, and then so we have like a little short clip, and then called it a 220 strict press and uploaded it and made that claim and then pretended it was a real lift. Think about that. So of course I went after that. Why would I feel guilt for that? All right. Luke says and difficult physical challenges are what acute dangers involve. Crawling through a trench, wait 30 hours firefight, sacrifice for need, not how you lift. I agree, Luke. Sean says you helped stop me from going vegan, which the vegans hate you because more animals die. No, more animals don't die because of me, though. What happened to NH dude? He fell off. I think he got deported. So, and as far as me concerned, I'm gonna ask a question, Sean. Why do you think that I'm actually concerned that he used straps, or was it a point of me being able to clown him over it? As someone who teaches you, if you want big forearms and a strong grip, toss the straps away. So it doesn't. So you're assuming that I have an emotional, like when you say you're bothered, that's creating an emotional connection. I was never bothered, but I'm gonna clown on it. As a guy who was promoting getting strong and even talking about forearms, it's like, yeah, we're gonna clown on that. All right, think about it. At least some people treat the gym as war because modern men's lives are boring and mundane. Use the gym to let out aggression. Yeah, but it's still not the same. All right. Sean, who recently was attacking Jason as a means of purposely demonstrating the dangers of bad coaching. Pretty fair to criticize his inappropriate use of, right? I mean, the guy is curling with straps now. I mean, after all that stuff of me calling him Strap on Destiny, he then later gets up on camera and is doing curls with straps. I mean, come on, guys. Right. And his injury effect is showing, right? Got mad adductor down from back squats yesterday, did 240 for 10 reps. There we go. Straps can have their place. I'll have clients use straps that I don't want them to use straps. Let me be clear. We discuss it and they choose to do it. Doesn't mean that I'm on board. I think straps can have their place for cheat rows, for example. If you want to do cheat rows, you're not going to raw dog those. You're just not. It's not going to happen. Right? I think occasional force every now and then for certain maxes on conjugate and stuff, if you want to see where your back and everything is in strength, you can occasionally do some sort of deadlift variation with straps, but understand that you're going to be stronger. In other words, if you require straps to lift it, you probably are not strong enough to lift it without them. And I don't just mean your grip giving out. That has to do with the neural drive thing. Occasionally, maybe for really heavy RDLs, if you're not wanting to use mixed grip, okay. I mean, they can have their place here and there, but by and large, I don't even bother with them anymore myself. Can we not talk about Helm in live stream so that we don't have clips of me talking about someone that people can remix? Hold on. All right, let's hop over. What do we miss, Sean? Who would you say is a Joel Osteen to you too? I don't know how you define Joel Osteen because I probably have a different viewpoint of Joel Osteen because I lived on the same street as his church and I knew tons of people who went there. Remember, my address was made public at one time. I lived 5 minutes walk from Joel Osteen's church, literally. I literally lived a 5-minute walk away. I used to pass it all the time going anywhere. It was on my street. It was literally, not figuratively, on the street I lived on. I don't know what to think of Joel Osteen. So who's the Joel Osteen of well, they're going to have to be making millions of dollars. How can I do RDLs without straps? Really just mixed grip it, homie, like the rest of us. I've done them. You've seen me do like 3 plates for sets of 12 easy with no grip problems on them, man. Work on your grip, Lars. Fix your grip, guys. So who would we consider the Joel Osteen? I don't know, man. Is fitness people balling like that? But he really did have the church locked up during Hurricane Harvey. Like it was totally locked up in the aftermath. I know because I lived on the street. You could see the chains on the doors. They don't. You guys want to get big forearms. Exactly. I don't understand. I don't understand this obsession with straps, guys. Like, just build your grip. My God. Doing a lot of typing. Yep. I got conversations going. I have important conversations going. Also for cable pull downs. Oh man. So you guys see I'm tickled by this. I'm just like, I'm sorry guys. You guys are watching me deadlift 5 plates and change for 6 reps with no straps, just chalking. You don't see my grip slipping. I just can't. I'm doing sets of 14 on weighted pull-ups. And I can't. Guys, drop the straps and build your damn grip. Just stop. Just stop. I can't even take this conversation seriously. Again, this is why you guys don't have forearms like this. Lose the straps. Ladies, lose the straps. Come on. I'll make it a post. All right, hop back over. Let's get back over. How come you don't enjoy Mr. Bean? I never watched him. I also use straps for overhead press. It definitely helps me get more weight on the bar. Why not just get stronger without the straps? That's my point. No, it's not easy to say just do it. It's just training, y'all. So drop the straps and just train without them for a while. Your grip will catch up. No, seriously, just drop the straps. Chalk up, your grip will build. You're not going to lose progress in your back and everything else because of it. I've had clients do this and they're like, you were right. Free to try it. Yeah, exactly. I challenge anyone to do push downs and go to lat failure before your grip fails overhand. Just easy work bars. I do weighted pull-ups without my grip failing all day long. It's different also do pull-ups without straps. Hey, Sean, I have no idea what that woman meant. So, all right. And yes, guys, I type fast. We've established this. When I did that college prep class, I tested at 70. So we did this in high school on real typewriters back in the day. We didn't have desktop computers for all the classrooms when I was that age. I typed 70 words per minute on our typing test. But they taught us how to do that. It was a class where they taught us speed typing. You don't know the term college prep. I guess different education system. No, I never played RuneScape. I saw a video where Yates said doing pull downs with any grip other than underhand is useless. So why would that be? Does that make any sense at all? Let's see. If you use strap, there's really no difference between thick or thin bar. It's so redundant. So in high school, they often have classes that are called college prep. They're advanced classes, and they're specifically for getting you ready for college. They're almost like a step under honors type classes, or sometimes they're the equivalent. So in high school, I took college prep typing and I took college prep auto mechanics. And the college prep auto mechanics wasn't at our normal school. We had a regular auto mechanics, and I didn't do that one. The college prep that you went to the university. So their automotive department that certified people to become mechanics, those same instructors had a college prep class they taught over at the local university, further down from the high school. So we had auto mechanics there. And incidentally, this is where I network with a bunch of the other guys, and people are like, "You didn't really street race in high school." I'm like, no, we all did. Like, who do you think did this stuff? I don't know. How about all the guys who took college prep auto mechanics, all built cars and did street racing? Lots of guys in there. We all had cars. Like I had a Firebird, but dudes had Camaros, Mustangs, stuff like that, who were taking the classes. And yeah, those AP, I think that's the same thing, Max. But because 3 different high schools all went to that same college prep, this allowed us, we all networked with the stuff. It allowed you to meet other car people from the other high schools and the other stuff. And there was networking for that. Chris said, "Hey, Jason, I'm using a simple progression method, basically reps of 6 to 10. And when I'm able to hit 10 reps, I will reset to 6 reps with 5 pounds more. If I fail a rep, you'd recommend as a reset?" No, just keep working on it. That's called double progression is the name of that. There's an actual name for what you're doing. It is referred to as double progression. It was made popular in like the 50s and 60s, actually. It's a proven protocol, by the way. No, you don't worry about missing a rep. You just keep going till you get there. All right. Never too late to make a plan. Evening classes, do with it, believe in you. There you go. To respect his instructor, think you would support Lars. Yeah, no, they're right. If you dropped out of high school, oh man, well, yeah, go back and get some further education. Like you said, some night classes. You have a lot of options there. There's a lot of options to go get further education again, even as an adult, right? But you have to make the time for them. All right. Thanks. Contact your old school. Tell them your desire and regret. Let them help you what to do. Yeah. No, I mean, I think Lars is giving you really sound advice here. You know, whatever other disagreements we might have of stuff in here, I think Lars just gave you some really solid advice. I think you should listen to what he said. Um, so thanks. Yeah, I saw an old school bodybuilder program from one of your old videos and been running that. As I get a bit older and have less time, I appreciate the simplicity of the program versus others. Yeah. So I'm trying to limit profanity, but I'm going to quote the college prep, and that's pretty much the same thing as what you guys are calling AP classes. I think it's the same thing. So the auto mechanics instructor one day walked in with what we were doing, and I remember the look on his face, and I will never forget the look. And he shook his head, and he goes, "I swear you boys can f up a wet dream." And he turned around and walked out for like 3 minutes before he came back. Oh my God, it was hilarious. We broke something in such a unique and crazy way that it shouldn't have even been possible. We couldn't fix it. There's like 6 of us over here trying to fix this. That I don't even know which of us messed it up. And we're all trying to fix it. It was hilarious. It had to do with a power steering gearbox. Yeah. Coach, do you see anything wrong with a mid-20-year-old taking Viagra? To Viagra for nervousness? Yeah, no, don't take it for nervousness. Just get in and do your thing, dude. Let me be clear. I'm not gonna. All right. Let me keep this as PG-13 as possible. Historically, in the past, a long time ago, yes, I have used a few of these different things for recreational purposes with one of my exes and stuff, but they weren't for nervousness. It was because we wanted to have sex all night. Makes sense. Like, this is not stuff that we're kind of like, oh, we want a marathon session. Like, we want to do it all night, off and on, like 6 or 7 times. You've planned this out, that sort of thing. This is not something, and I'm not saying you should do that. I'm not saying that's safe. So think of it as a performance enhancing drug, like for a sporting event. But I'm going to recommend do not go do that for that purpose. No, that's not a good idea. All right, hold up. Okay. Dude, you see Alice for that. I don't think it's a good idea. We messed mostly with Levitra for that. And I didn't take a whole one. So my ex used to get them and cut it in half. Like take half a pill is what we used to do. Am I nervous my first time? I don't know. I don't think I was nervous. I was excited. I don't think nervous is the word I would use. It's like, oh my God. Oh my God. Not a nervous excited. It was kind of like, oh, this is really happening. When I was younger. So, that was a long time ago. And we're talking ancient history at this point. Good Lord. All right. Good Lord. Yeah, mid-20s, you shouldn't eat any of that. Get in shape, man. I mean, I have some of those. I got a bunch of free samples and I haven't used them. They may have even gone bad. So I had someone who gave me a bunch of Viagra and Cialis, and I've never used any of the ones that I got samples of. I still have them. like stored away. So I think it's from your prawn addiction, so stop watching it. Yeah, that could be it. That could absolutely be it. Limitless, I think that could be a factor. It could definitely be a factor. Yeah, it's a shame Beam Rider isn't here to tell us his first time, right? And he'll tell us it was a 100-kilo bouncer at the nightclub. So after I knocked him out, right? After I knocked him out, I lost my virginity. And it was a beautiful, magical moment. Oh my God. Oh Lord. Supermodels. We had to turn down a fitness model once because I was with my ex and it was one of her friends. And she's like, y'all are really funny. Y'all want to have a three-way? And she's like, no, don't touch my man. For a brief moment, I was like, damn, no. But she was completely straight. She wasn't even bi-curious, so she wasn't having that. You know? That's his life. Are you talking about a Beam Rider? What, two dudes? Yeah, Beam Rider was with two dudes. They were 100-kilo bouncers. Yeah, he got them all mixed up. All right, cool. I do need to wind this down though for a specific reason. But I feel like we had a fun chat. I'll do more chats. I'm going to run today probably, so we're also going to have a running blog because I always run with the phone and live stream it. And I'm going to get some GPP done later, so I'm going to do a bunch of weighted carries and throws and everything. So yeah, but we're out, guys. Love you guys, and I'll talk to you next time.